Coming up on the Sports Desk, Torrance has two of the hottest volleyball teams around. When one gets its heart broken by the other, and they forget it all and handle their business against the rest of the South Bay. Plus, the El Camino Warriors are still searching for a groove of their own on the football field, but win, lose, or tie, this squad keeps the right attitude about sticking together. And over at the LA Galaxy Soccer Center, you can drop in for league play, pickup games, or one heck of a party featuring some familiar faces, all for an amazing cause. All that and more right now on the Sports Desk. Hey Torrance, how's it going? I'm Wan Hernandez, and you're here for another week on the Sports Desk. We're going to start right off with some girls volleyball over in the Pioneer League. If you haven't noticed by now, North and South High are two of the strongest squads around this year. The four-time defending league champs Spartans are simply a regular powerhouse that's just starting to hit their stride. The North Saxons started off 2012 by placing a solid 5th at the competitive GAR tourney and then winning their home tournament. The result? A 13-1 start and second place ranking in their division. The result when both these teams finally played each other, depending on which side you're on, down 2-0, a heartbreaking or inspiring come-from-behind win for the Spartans. You can't help but wonder if the Saxons' confidence might be a little shaken after such a shocking loss, so our very own Brittany Johnson found that out for us.
Starting off with a serve to deep middle back, and the set goes to middle Kimberly Haney, and she kicks things off with an early kill. Tied at 1 in the second game, Saxons thought they'd fly past the Eagles like game 1, but they ran into some trouble. El Segundo's right side hitter takes the backward set and looks for the kill, but North is there for the one-handed dig. Saxons able to get it up for Sabin Roberts, but she has a meeting with El Segundo's blockers. We're tied at 6. North trying to put it right past the front row. Eagles with the block and place it smack dab in the middle and take their first lead. But that wouldn't last too long as Sabin Roberts has the killer spike to tie it up at 8. Here she is again with the jump serve, and she aces it to put the Saxons 1 up. The Saxons had a tough time breaking away from the Eagles, and their offense wasn't the problem, it was their defense. But after a much-needed timeout, Saxons came out to finish the second game with some nice action from their center, Miss Hammond. And there she goes again with a kill to lead the Saxons to a 25-20 second game win. Now to the third game, Saxons didn't waste any time with another kill from Darlene Lee. She had 8 for the night. Jessie Chong with a soft serve to middle back. Eagles get it up to the center. Jessie Chong with the pass up to Sadie, who had 14 assists in the backward set to Harley. And a nice rally going on between the teams. Eagles with the tip, nice coverage from the Saxons, and Sabin ends it right here with the kill. She had 10 of those things in the match. Minutes later, the Eagles draw up a nice play and go for the kill. But oh man, there's a nice dig on the play, and the Saxons front row is putting in some work with this block here from Roberts and Hammond. Saxon serve, the Eagles front middle's looking to do some damage, but the Saxons are about to turn it up a notch. And could it be? Sabin for another kill? Nope, not this time. It'll be the right side hitter, Harley, doing the damage. It's the last play of the match, and with this strong hit from the Eagles, the Saxon will take an easy sweep and win the third game, 25-8. After the game, I caught up with head coach Mark Piak, who said that the girls came out with a chip on their shoulder from a previous loss and had some anger to take out.
Coming off a tough loss on Tuesday against South, our big rival, and so the girls really wanted to come out and play their best match, and I think they really did that. You know, we had a couple missed serves early, so I think it's some just high energy stuff, but you know, we played great defense and kind of kept them on their heels all the time.
Coach Piak also addressed the slight slump the team took in the second game.
Really what we stopped doing, I think, was just playing defense. So I said, get back to playing defense and keep that ball alive. If it doesn't hit the ground, we can't lose. And I think they started doing that towards the second half of the game.
You heard it straight from the coach. It all came down to the team's defense, and once they got that in gear, there was no turning back. And the North Saxons were able to take an easy win over the El Segundo Eagles today. Reporting from North High, I'm Brittany Johnson for the Sports Desk.
Sabrin Roberts leading the way for North with 10 kills in the quick 3-set matchup. Darlene Lee added 8 kills and 2 aces on the night. The North Saxons looking like they're right back on track with win number 14 of the season. Over at Bishop Montgomery, the Knights keeping hot themselves. They take down Sarah in a Del Rey League match to move to 13-6 overall. Alabama Crimson Tide recruit Bria Green led the way with 27 kills and 21 digs. Juliet McCall threw in 12 kills and Aisha King added 10. So the Knights showing they've got a deep squad behind Green as they're cruising through league play. And up in the JC ranks, the El Camino Warriors still on fire in the South Coast Conference. This month, Elko's volleyball team set a new program mark by reaching their 30th consecutive conference win in a row. A streak that dates back to 2010, and if a close match against Long Beach City College for number 31 is any indication of how far this roll's going, the Warriors aren't slowing down anytime soon. Took the ladies 5 sets to settle their 31st consecutive South Coast Conference win, but thanks to the usual suspects, Taryn Luafa-Lamana and Nigeria Owens, Elko survives a barn burner. First set alone featured 10 ties and 5 lead changes before the Vikings put it away. In the 5th and final set, the Warriors fell to 8-2-6 at the turn before taking over and finishing it out with a 9-3 scoring run to preserve a very impressive streak we're all going to have to keep our eyes open for from here on out. All right, coming up after the break, the Elko football team has stumbled through the season on the offensive side of the ball. With the competition only getting tougher, it's time to see when things are going to start to click.
Something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
My legs, sometimes they'll go numb.
I had double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Well, the beginning is the hardest time.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
I was a dancer. I don't see walking the way I walk any different than doing a dance. It just looks different. It's a different dance.
You see me have an off day, it doesn't take away from who I am.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
But I would exercise every day.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
To make a lot of changes in my life and just adapt to it.
I'm going to acknowledge its presence. I'm not going to discount it. But at the same time, I'm going to try my best to not let it stop me.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hey, welcome back to the Sports Desk. Left off talking about El Camino athletics, and we're going to pick right back up with their football team. For a school with a rich history of offensive juggernauts, watching this year's squad sputter has been rough for the entire team. New quarterback Jesse Scroggins has called his experience of splitting snaps after 2 years at USC, simply put, humbling. Coach John Featherstone put it plainly when he said the Warriors had averaged 32 points a game for his entire 27 years at Elko, and this was just one of those years. So with another conference matchup on the horizon and even just a few minutes talking to the Warriors themselves, it was easy for Jenny Phillips to see what's on the minds of the entire Warrior locker room.
El Camino returns home tonight to take on Southern California 5th-ranked Bakersfield for some non-conference action. The Renegades came out hot with star quarterback Brian Burrow throwing for 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, quickly putting them up 14-0. Meanwhile, the Warriors struggled to keep the ball on offense. Turnovers were causing their worn-out defense to spend way too much time on the field. Nick King with an interception late in the first quarter, and he's taken out. El Camino's offense saw a little bit of life late in the half as quarterback Jesse Scroggins takes over and leads the Warriors down the field on a long scoring drive, capped off with a Melvin Richardson 1-yard carry into the end zone. Elko down 28-7 going into the break. Unfortunately, the Warriors were unable to hang on to that momentum. The defense stepped up and made some big stops, but the offense struggled to keep the ball. Scroggins with an interception late in the fourth with a huge return secured the Renegades' win. Final score, 40-13 Bakersfield. Still struggling to come together late in the season, the Warriors are having a hard time figuring out where they're going wrong. Jesse, what happened tonight?
Defense definitely played well, until we couldn't back them up anymore. We started off late, they had like 11-minute drive, and that's almost too much of the defense to ask without answering. So, going back out there huffing and puffing after a 3-and-out is real tough. So, they can't hold them forever.
We need to stop allowing teams to get on us in the first quarter. We did that last week with Harbor. That cost us a game. We did it this week with Bakersfield. It cost us a game again. So we just got to come out harder.
We're a young team. We're a young team. I thought we've played pretty darn good defense through this year.
I'm never going to blame one side of the ball for nothing. I think it's a team game, and we lost as a team. That's it. We lost as a team.
We got to change something up. We got to get more heart. We got to do something. We got to get going.
Another tough loss for El Camino as they fall at home to Bakersfield tonight. Despite having a strong defense, their offense has had a really rough time clicking, even this late in the season. The Warriors' record now drops to 2-4 as they go on the road next week to face powerhouse Riverside. From Murdoch Stadium, I'm Jenny Phillips for the Sports Desk.
So the 2-4 Warriors still looking for some answers on offense. Quarterbacks Jesse Scroggins and Nicholas King combined to go 11 of 27 for just 125 yards, one passing TD, and each quarterback throws an interception. You always have to worry about a team that struggles after entering a season expecting to do big things, but if their attitudes after this one is any indication, doesn't seem to be any finger pointing or resentment. Always a good sign of a team that will stick together, so keep your eyes on the Warriors as they work to turn things around. Over at Bishop Montgomery, they're just on fire. The Knights off to an inspiring 3-0 Delray League start. They thrashed Bosco Tech 35-14 to move to 6-1 overall. Usually we talk about the Knights' running game and that offense, but the game ball goes to the D on this one. They force a fumble and pick up 2 INTs en route to a near shutout victory. Bosco Tech's 14 points coming off 2 fourth-quarter turnovers deep in Bishop Montgomery territory with the game in hand and the backups on the field. Up next for the Knights is a bye week as they take a little time off to prepare for a big matchup against undefeated league foe LaSalle. And the West Warrior train finally comes to a stop. Their 5-0 start included a revenge win against Culver City and a close one over the rampaging offense of North, but Miracosta spoils the undefeated season with a comeback victory. West led 14-0 and 21-7 before the Mustangs rallied off 42 unanswered points. That Warrior offense still firing. They're able to put up 42 points on the night with 256 yards passing from Joey Notch, 156 yards rushing from Barry Thomas, but ultimately they're done in when they fumbled in the opening kickoff of the second half, tied at 21. They end up giving up 62 points to Costa. Over at Torrance, the Tartars running back Bobby Wilson goes down in the first quarter against the South Spartans. No problem as Jonathan Hurd has the game of his life. Just 19 carries from Hurd as he throws down 256 yards, touchdown runs of 40, 74, and 80 yards to lead Torrance over South 32-25. It's a close one that wasn't decided until the Tartars D made a stand with the Spartans driving into Tartar territory and just over 30 seconds to go. Torrance gets its first win over South on the gridiron since 2007. In our last Torrance football update of the day, North gets their first Pioneer League win in their first Pioneer League game over Centennial. The Saxons jumped out to a 33-6 lead, everything looking like business as usual until Centennial rails off a 22-6 run the last three quarters of the game. Lucky for them, they'd built enough of a lead to hold on, and no harm, no foul, right? The mood after the game was sour, as Coach Todd Croce put it, even in spite of the win. Clearly a wake-up call for the Saxons as a lot of their players talked about playing hard all four quarters now after this scare. Okay, coming up after another break, the LA Galaxy Soccer Center hosts the Supply Cup. What the heck's the Supply Cup, you might ask? Well, stick around, I'm gonna tell you.
Winston, just one more inning, Grandma.
Ever notice how many things today kids can do without actually moving? A whole lot of things their parents used to do the hard way. So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part, which makes exercise even more important for children. In fact, new research tells us the best time to enhance bone development is during childhood and adolescence. And just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Healthy bones come from healthy habits. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
You could choose to join a gang. You could try the latest drugs. You could even choose to drop out of school. You can try to avoid the difficulties in life with a quick fix, or you can face them head on. She did. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Hey Torrance, welcome back to the Sports Desk one more time. Now that you've got your fill of some scores and highlights, time to mix things up with a special event our little corner of the South Bay got to be a part of. The Supply is a New York-based nonprofit organization building and creating secondary schools for children in the slums of Nairobi, Kenya. For children who regularly face life without clean water and food, the opportunities for a higher education are simply a rare option. So something as simple as soccer provides them a chance to live and breathe the sport when they're not studying. Passionate for the game, children wrap rubber bands around plastic bags to make their own soccer ball. Quality of the ball doesn't matter. A ball is a ball, and as long as it's round and moves, the game lives on. This is what the Supply defines as passion, and this is what they shared with us at the LA Galaxy Soccer Center's Supply Cup.
A collection of famous YouTube personalities came together to participate in the Supply Cup charity soccer tournament presented by Drama Fever. Celeb YouTuber Kev Jumba, along with AJ Raphael, Dante Bosco, and Philip Wang of Wang Fu Productions, were the captains of each team. As the games got started, fans were excited to represent their team by wearing their team's colors. The first game was between Team Dante and Team Raphael. The game was scoreless until a nice play by Team Raphael put them on the scoreboard. Second half, Team Raphael put the red team away with this score. Team Wang showed their fans some love before their match with Team Kev Jumba. Kev Jumba with the miss, but his teammate was there to rebound to put it back in. Kev Jumba scores for Black, showing he can lead his team to victory. There was even a younger participant for Team Kev Jumba, showing that he could keep up with the celebrities. The referees got in on the action as Team Kev Jumba put away Team Wang. After Team Kev Jumba's win, actor and producer Gio Antoinette says her team played well considering their lack of experience.
Like, I think about 90% of us on the team have never played soccer. So for us to come out victorious, it's really cool.
Actor Dionisio Bosco says even though he can't play soccer, he supports the charity.
I'm playing soccer that I really don't know how to play, but my buddy Kev Jumba told me to come out and it's for his cause about creating schools overseas and in Africa. So I was like, it's a great cause. I'm gonna come out and make a fool of myself.
Back to the tournament, the championship game was between Team Raphael and Team Kev Jumba, and the blue team was pumped up. With the Supply Cup on the line, the two stars of the night battled it out. Wide open, Team Raphael puts themselves on the scoreboard. As time ran out, Team Raphael begins to celebrate their Supply Cup tournament championship. Team captain AJ Raphael says he was happy to be a part of the charity game.
Thank you again, Kev Jumba, everybody who came out. Thank you, The Supply. Thank you for doing all of this for charity, because it's all about a bigger picture. It's not about soccer. It's not about music, art, you know what I mean? It's about humanity and the world and all this problem. So
everyone who participated and came out to the event had a great time, all while doing something meaningful for charity. In Torrance, I'm Erin Giddens for the Sports Desk.
For anybody curious about the Supply's mission and even curious about contributing to their projects building schools for slum communities, visit thesupply.org. There are chapters at both UC Riverside and UC Irvine, as well as others popping up all over the world in high schools and universities. The organization's website runs a fundraising campaign called the Standard 8 and even offers a support structure for anybody looking to create their own local campaign. And of course, as always, if you know anything else going on in our city that showcases sports to benefit an amazing cause, don't wait to let us know so the Sports Desk can share that story. Call us at 310-618-5762 or email anytime. It's the Sports Desk at torranceca.gov. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for us today. We're always around for scores, highlights of the best games and events all over. Keep checking in with us right here on the Sports Desk.